as a veteran who understands the VA from multiple dimensions, I want to start with this thought. You know, I've only been hospitalized 2 times in my life before I turned 30. The first time as a active duty Marine when I had to have my tonsils taken out. And I thought that was the worst thing in the world. I put the robe on backwards, all the pain, and it just felt so clinical and sterile, and you smelled the medicine. And I thought that was it. I never wanted to be a patient. The second time I was hospitalized, it was to have my spinal column surgically repaired and held together with the titanium mesh around it after a triple rollover crash that I survived. It was after that second time that I became acquainted with this abstraction we call the VA. And over time it became less of an acquaintance and more of a relationship with the people who make it the VA. So it became less abstract for me. And I had developed a connection with people who chose the path to heal veterans and became very attached to that. And so after 16 years of living with this injury, I find that healthcare providers, regardless of your discipline, really fall into 2 categories, one of 2 categories. The first one are those providers who bring happiness whenever they enter a room. You see them, you light up, you feel good. The second category are those who create happiness when they leave a room. Right? That happens. They leave, you feel better. And I always encourage providers to ask yourselves, which camp do you fall in? Because that's important. But I think that the latter group gets too much of the attention lately in media and all the stories you hear. And so it's the former that I like to focus on this morning. All the doctors, nurses, therapists, social workers, administrators, housekeeping, meal preparers, chaplains, pharmacists, greeters, volunteers. Did I leave anybody out? Any group? They all make this thing called the VA work. And don't often get enough credit for it. But there's one thing that they're all bound by, and that's a deep sense of empathy that moves them in their work, empathizing with their patients. And when they see a veteran that they're providing care for, they see their loved ones, they see their spouses, their parents, their children, their grandparents, and that's what helps them remember that these are people you're dealing with. They also recognize that there are no professional patients. There are only professional providers. So you all have to be the professionals and allow us patients just to be human in your work. And yesterday we were going to recognize one particular provider who I've known for years. And the reason she couldn't make it is because she had 2 more patients that she needed to see. So she got held up by her duty to those patients. And of course, traffic, and if you've been in D.C. during rush hour, you know how hard it is to get here from D.C. But we allowed her that because it's totally consistent with her work. But I just wanted to recognize her this morning, even though she's not here. Heidi Maloney, she's a nurse practitioner who works at the D.C. VA. And of course, you've heard about the D.C. VA and some of the things, but you don't hear about her. You hear about people like her. And that's a shame. But I want to do that today. And AMVETS was going to recognize her for, as I put it, she normalized excellence. And I know a lot of you do that. You normalize it, so it's no surprise when you do your work and you do it well. And that's probably why you're here. You do things excellently in your daily walk. You go above and beyond. But since she's not here, I wanted to do something special for her. What I'm going to do is I've got Christine here recording. She's going to turn around and face you all, and when I count to 3, I want you to give her one big thank you, Heidi, as loud as you can. Can we do that? Sure. All right. You ready, Christine? Mm-hmm. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Heidi.